The Alabama Historical Commission, in conjunction with the National Geographic, announcing the discovery of the Clotilda in the Mobile River Delta. That's the last known slave ship to have come to Mobile just before the Civil War. Well, while National Geographic led that research team, a journalist and filmmaker right here in Mobile was the first to look for the ship, and he claims that he found it. Our Hal Sherrick spoke with Ben Raines today about his discovery of the Clotilda.
Naturalist and filmmaker Ben Raines set off to find this important piece of Mobile's history in 2017. What he thought was a Clotilda early on turned out to be a different ship. With persistence and help from an archaeology team from the University of Southern Mississippi, the discovery was made last year. After that, things got even more difficult.
So then I told the state, I gave them the coordinates, I gave them all our survey data. 2 days later, they announced that National Geographic and this archaeologist company were going to come survey the river and look for the ship. Really, they were coming to look at my ship. They did their survey in July, so 4 months later, and then no word. The National Geographic made everybody sign non-disclosure agreements, and they wouldn't tell me anything.
Raines credits old-fashioned investigative journalism with setting him on the right track. That, along with intuition and new mapping technology, led him to the site a few miles up Mobile River, where the Clotilda's burned remains lay hidden from sight for more than 150 years. Once samples and measurements were taken, there was little doubt he'd found what he was after.
I pulled a piece of it up and held it up in the daylight, and it turns out for the first time in 160 years the ship had seen daylight, and it had square nails in it, wrought iron nails, and I knew immediately this was built in the 1850s.
Because he worked for a local media outlet at the time, Raines says Nat Geo wouldn't allow him further access to the site. Despite that, Raines says he's proud of his accomplishment, along with its historical significance to Mobile.
Out of the 20,000 ships that were in the slave trade, they've only found 12 of them, and all of them are in foreign countries. So this is a huge deal for Africatown. It's a huge deal for the rest of the country. And you know, this ship powerfully tells the story of Africatown. You know, those people have been telling the truth. They were brought here illegally in the hold of a ship. You know, all that happened, and this ship is the total testament to it. And I really hope it's going to help revitalize Africatown.
Raines tells me he has not yet made contact with the state or Nat Geo about not giving him credit for part of that fine. Matter of fact, he did have a lot of other interest today. The New York Times was out with him today. NPR was calling him on the phone. You saw that in the video there. So he's got a lot of other attention from national media outlets. He does hope that this discovery can become part of maybe Alabama's Civil Rights Freedom Trail, as the museum is dedicated to the finds here. He also has started to write a book on the discovery of this ship, and he hopes to have that published sometime next year. Reporting live from the Causeway, Hal Sherrick, Fox 10 News.